Okay, now we can officially start. Okay, let's take a deep breath together. And I would like to officially welcome you to fifth Sing to the Whales event. We entered a new year since the last one. This one is particularly special for me. We are actually in the field of the whales. I just got off a boat literally 25 minutes ago. So this is really special to bring in a new level of experience where we have people from around the world. We have whales right here. We have a group here. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And as you can see here in the shared Zoom screen, we have a special, two special guests today, Anders and Kachina. And they are going to be joining us, not just talking about toning, talking about their experience, but also performing the dream of the blue whale. So we're going to start with a few deep breaths. We're going to go into a little meditation. And for those of you that have been with us before, you know, this is how we always start to bring the energy together. And the idea is that all of us around the world start creating a collective heart. And we do that by simply placing our hand on the heart. And before you close your eyes, just look at this picture on the screen. This actually was just 2 days ago here in Baja California. The sea lion, we were swimming with sea lions, and this sea lion came and was very curious about my camera. So when I was choosing the theme for the first meditation, it was about remembering joy. There's so much going on in the world, and there's so much going on in each of our lives that it's very important to just take a moment, take a little break. And remember that pure joy of being. Because when our soul agreed to come here to this planet, it didn't come really to worry. But it really came for this experience of life in its fullness, with all the colors and everything that comes with it. And little kids and dolphins and orcas and seals, they all remind us of this space within us. Now, if you can look at this picture and imagine a seal looking at you this way, I don't know if it's possible to not smile. So With that, with the smile and the hand on your heart, just close your eyes for a second. And just allow that this smile spreads from your lips, from your mouth, across your face. And down your neck into your body. This smile can be felt inside the cells. And then whenever you notice yourself getting too serious and too busy in your life, you can simply take a breath, take a break to remember joy. And if you have a hard time remembering what you're joyful about, then take a moment and imagine yourself in the last moments of being in this body, when you're on your deathbed and looking back at your life. What are the important moments in that time of passing, when you look back at your life? What do you really cherish? From that perspective, you always understand that the life is about the moment that we're fully lived, fully experienced. And the moments of pure beauty, of pure magic, of pure joy are the moments where you're fully alive. So whatever is happening in the world today, whatever is happening in your life, it's always a good idea to take a break and remember joy. And let's just commit in this moment that I'm going to do at least one thing today that brings me joy. I know it's easy for me to say I'm here with the dolphins and the whales in beautiful Mexico. But no matter where you are, there's always a way to find exciting, beautiful things around you. So let's now connect in our collective heart a little stronger. So just imagine us from all around the world, how we stand in a circle, a few hundred strong. And in this moment, I invite you to look around this circle from all the people from around the world that gathered here. And each one of us has a hand on the heart and smiling. And then see your heart reach out and connect into the circle, merge with the circle. And then take a deep breath with the collective heart of our human pod. And now let's increase the feeling, the sensation of joy within our collective. So think about one thing that makes you joyful and just say it into the circle, into the middle of the circle. And then observe around the circle how it goes around like a wave, as different people say, different passions and excitement and joys that they have. And now we invite the resonance of joy coming from nature, from seals, from dolphins. And just see how they enter the circle. And as you observe this interaction, as you feel your heart respond, you can just say out loud, I remember joy more and more. And then with the next deep breath, keeping the awareness of the collective heart of all the different beings that come and join us in this energy. Just bring your attention gently back. And with the next deep breath, you can open your eyes. And you smile at the seal. Okay, I always feel like saying welcome again to everybody that comes online. I feel like, you know, our event really begins after this first meditation or with it. Where all of our energies kind of create this field together, and all of a sudden, you know, the words for me come in with a complete different clarity. So instead of speaking to 165 places around the world, I speak to one field. And I wanted, before I bring Anders and Kachina back, just say a few things about what we're doing for all the newcomers. So we use sound and we use intention as a form of communication. The communication can be with anything, but our specific event here every 3 months is a communication with the cetaceans. And this is because whales and dolphins hold the Akash of the planet. They have the ability to assist us in remembering more of who we are. I call them librarians many times, multidimensional librarians, where our intention, our communication becomes a request to the librarian to get you a specific book or a specific download. So as you hear that, what comes up for you? Why are you here today? If you could speak to your multidimensional matrix, if you could speak to dolphins and whales, what would you say? And what would your heart say? And in what way would you then receive the communication coming back to you? We are all remembering more and more. And actually, by remembering joy, you're opening many other doors as well. And many times when doors open, it can become a very multidimensional experience where it's hard for the mind to organize what happens. So what we're doing today, we're doing an individual communication that for most of you, the door is already open. We're just fine-tuning the intention and the communication. And we're empowering this process of remembering to where it becomes very harmonic and inclusive of all the different layers of the multidimensional existence. So you might be touched by a whale today. Make one thing is certain, there are time and space are no limitation for the whale's consciousness. So be very conscious of what happens in your energy as we go deeper into today's experience. When we communicate, there is a dream, a certain dream that is shared between all of our souls. This dream had different names throughout history, but lately it has been called the dream of the new earth. Whale dreaming is a state of creation. It's a state of consciousness where both dreaming and sound interact to create new reality. New Earth, as the dream of the enlightened planet, I believe is co-created between humanity, whales and dolphins, and many, many other beings. So as we sing to the whales, we're actually co-creating the dream and remembering it. And we're both becoming the new earth and remembering it. And take a deep breath with that. If there's any questions, please feel free to express anything in the chat box. Thank you so much for showing up. Please understand that this is not an event from me to you, from whales to you. This is an event that is always co-created. So I honor each and every one of you committing, coming online and taking this time to sing with us. And with that, I'm gonna bring on our special guests. I hope they're ready. All right.
Hello, hi.
Aloha.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Hello to all of you.
Ahoj všichni,
All right.
moc vás zdravíme.
Yay, so nice to have you on. Let me just change like this. Wonderful.
Je krásné vás tady mít.
Okay, so Anders and Kachina, your beautiful resume holds so many amazing things you've done in life. And did you want to mention any of what you did and how it brought you
Andersi a
to the journey
Kachino,
you're on
vaše
right now?
rezume nese tolik krásných věcí. Chtěli byste nám o tom povědět něco víc, o tom, čím právě procházíte?
Okay.
Já si nejsem jistý, jestli na to máme dneska dost času.
So let's just say you were trained as a classical musician before you became multidimensional musician. Would that what you call yourself?
Řekněme, že jsi byl trénován jako klasický hudebník, než jsi se stal multidimenzionálním hudebníkem. Já bych spíš řekl, že to je... Ano, je to tak, že jsem byl klasický hudebník, byl jsem tradičně vyučován.
or bass, actually. You know, I was singing, you know, operas and lieder and so on. So when I started doing my own music, that was quite a shift. It was, I think, I like very much what you talked about during the meditation and afterwards, Jan, because some of these things you talk about here were the things that came and were actually knocking on the door for me, being more of a traditional guy. Kachina has always been much more awake, an earlier awake, so to speak, spiritually speaking, than I was. And for me, it happened around that time. I think it was, well, it happened earlier, but my music was around 2004 or something like that. So there, and that music came as a result of an awakening, obviously. And but the blue whale music that we're getting a chance to share with you guys tonight or today. Yeah, well, it's night for us. This came only, this was actually, it was born just before our huge gathering when we were with the choir on Maui in Hawaii, in 2012. And the music literally came to us, Kachina and me, like 3 weeks before the album. We did the album, and it was made all in more or less in one download, which is very unusual if you know anything about music recording. Usually you do things in many different recordings and you know, but this here was like that. It really was.
And all we had was really the title, Dream of the Blue Whale, that Anders had just conceived some time before. And we just felt, you know, wouldn't it be fun to do something for Hawaii, to create music for Hawaii? So we just went into the studio just with that title, Dream of the Blue Whale. No musical agreement, no nothing. And so when I put my hands on the keyboard, I literally did not know what I would be playing in the next moment. That was,
it was interesting.
Scripted.
No, we had no agreement. And I remember distinctly back then that this was a different way of making music than very, very different from what I had been used to. Everything musically speaking, my whole career has been enormously structured. Everything had structure and plan. Everything is written down on notes and so on and so forth. And this kind of music was something that was maybe more natural to you, but for me, I actually, it was something I think nowadays I know that my soul was longing for. And therefore to be able to say to Kachina, no, I don't want to know what you're playing. Just, I trust completely that what comes is the right thing. And I had no plans myself for what I want to sing. I was just sitting with my microphone, and Kachina was with her keyboards over there, and we just began. And an hour later, we had an album, and I've never tried anything like that. So this was quite fantastic.
And there was no idea that Anders would sit down and start creating whale sounds.
There was no idea about anything. We just had the title, I think.
And at some point he just started making these sounds, you know, and I was playing and looking over there what is happening, and he was just sitting, you know, like this and having these whale sounds come through.
But I understand part of your question, Jan, because when I sometimes over the years, when I met some colleagues from the time when I was in the Royal Academy of Music, Copenhagen, some of the guys, and we do some of these things that I used to do, when they ask me, oh, so what are you doing nowadays? there's a pause, and it's of course because two worlds in a way are meeting or intertwining there, and there's very, very little overlap, if you understand. So therefore, you know, we always, but it's never a problem. I mean, I take it mostly with a smile. I'm aware that it is like that. So I've never regret this, not for 1 second.
So we have this experience on the boat because, you know, the boat captains are usually you know, they're great people. They're just not usually spiritual. And when we bring out, like today we were out on the water with the whales, we bring out the crystal ball and we make a circle on the boat and we start toning together. You know, there's always that moment of, you know, feeling that boat captain being a little uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah. I can
But what we have that you probably don't have, but you could probably get it with the research, and I want to talk about that in a moment, is we have the results that happen. And because we were now like with this boat company yesterday and today, and both days they said this is a day that happens once a year maybe, and we had just 2 in a row, you know. So yesterday we had whales everywhere, and then in the end we were just sitting with the engine turned off and a blue whale came and made a circle around our boat. And usually you don't see them up close. Usually blue whales, I've done blue whale watching before, they're very hard to come close to because you see them come out somewhere far away, and then by the time you get to it, it's going to go back down, you know. And this was just, you know, the guy said this was so special. Doesn't happen this way. Blue whales don't necessarily interact with people in this way, where they actually take time to swim around you. And today we had a pod of orca whales, and they were literally what you see on those, you know, viral videos where orcas are literally next to the boat coming out. I mean, we were this close to touching them, and they were doing blowholes and spraying us, you know, and just amazing. So we have the results. So the captains are now starting to say, you know, actually the lady that organized this tour, she said, I have a few people that, you know, just tell them where you're going to be in the world. So they're, you know, saying, you know, I'll just get you people from here that want to come do that somewhere else. And so they're starting to recognize that even though we're completely weird, that there's something that happens and they're actually enjoying it. So sometimes people say they like what we did. Other times they're like, what was that? Because this was not normal behavior from dolphins and whales. So, you know, in your case, when you have a professor asking you, you know, what is it that you do? They do usually listen or you know, want to see some kind of a result, and then they're going to take you seriously. So tell me, and this was one of the questions actually, now that I'm thinking about it, the results that were actually measured by a scientist you're working with in England.
Yes, particularly about the music with the Dream of the Blue Whale.
Okay, so what we're going to hear today, the track that everybody's going to get to hear, had certain measurable effects on the blood, if I understand that correctly. Yeah.
Oh yes. There's a movie by Tzipi Ras, the Israeli film director, called The One Field. You may be aware of it. We were part of that movie, and for the filming of the experiments that we did with John Stewart Reed for the movie, we met in John's laboratory in England, like you said, and we were together there for 3 or 4 days conducting these experiments. And just to make it, well, how to say it short, we did 2 kinds of experiments, but there were experiments that involved the blood. That we used this piece that we're going to perform a piece of for you today, the Dream of the Blue Whale. And it involved bringing human blood from a normal donor blood. And you took 2 vials from the same blood, and one you placed in a special chamber where it received the music from our concert that we did live in the laboratory. And the other part of the same blood went into a little cage protected electromagnetically and also shielded sound-wise. So it was completely closed off, to see if there was a difference between the same blood in the 2 different vials of blood in 2 different environments. And one could say there was a difference. The results were so mind-blowing that, I mean, it's in the movie, but you can see, as we remember also John, he was standing there and we were all over his shoulder and of course very excited, and what does the result say? And he was measuring and so on. And then at some point, after having done it twice and checked it twice, he said, I can't believe it. There was so many living blood cells from blood where most of the blood cells had died off. And this is a natural process. After some time with a blood sample, the living blood cells go down and to a certain degree, and then after some time they throw it away, usually a couple of weeks. But here, that blood was now enriched with living blood cells to the degree that the instrument he was using couldn't even count all of them. The instrument asked him to dilute with water further because otherwise it was like an explosion. And he was, as a scientist, he had no answer. He said, I need to develop a new protocol because I can't use my old protocol. And he was all smiling, of course, when he was doing that.
And he needs a new blood counting machine.
Yeah. Yes, well, no, he needs to dilute more with water and other things, and because they do these things very accurately, of course, scientists as they are. But the bottom line was that the implications of this are enormous. If you think for a moment, the blood banks world over. Just imagine for a moment any kind of version of a scenario where you have a number of blood samples in your bank, and every time it goes down to the time where you have to either throw it out or use it, you have some musicians or singers coming in and you give it a certain treatment and you have found develop a protocol, and okay, another 3 weeks. You can see that if this is something that scientifically could be developed in a way so it could be replicated the world over, for a scientist like him, he says this is mind-blowing what's happening here. So that was the excitement part, the really exciting part. Beautiful. And I mean, for us, we're musicians. We did this many years before we even met John. The Dream of the Blue Whales is from 2012, and to know that what happens in that music, and especially also when we're in the laboratory next to the blood, it's quite an amazing feeling to make a 20-minute concert for the blood cells. It's a fantastic thing.
Okay, so everybody today, pay attention what happens in your blood, in your cells as you listen to Anders and Kachina. That's beautiful. So
what is simply so amazing also is, also as Anna said, we have never intended to create a CD for healing or anything like this. It always, for us, it comes from music. And with music, I mean, it comes always through our own connection, because our consciousness is physics. So when we are connected, it becomes part of the very sound that we are creating of the singing. And what is just so amazing is that the listener, the people that we usually play for live or that listen to the CD, you pick it up when you're listening to the sound. And we just didn't know that it would even have measurable results in the 3D world, so to speak, that all of a sudden the blood gets oxygenated. And before it was in the way of dying down, so it's the music that does that.
And actually, to be completely honest, for us, it's still, and for me, it's the magic for me is to be able to, even in a moment like this, when we cannot be physically in the same room, I experience, when we do our music for you this way, I experience 100% that we create a space together. And I feel all of you, and you all have your headphones, I guess, and we, through this technology, we can represent the space that we would be in physically, and we actually get to share our music in a very intimate way. That is something I'm really very grateful for. So I just want to say, Jan, that we're grateful that we can share our music with you today.
Oh, I think it's so perfect for the fact where we are, I feel there is a lot more happening than we even can put a finger on. You know, it's what happens within us personally. It's what happens within the collective. And I feel it's also connected, you know, this is the first time we're here, you know, with a group of 20 people that now take the songs from everybody all around the world, and literally we can pass it on to the blue whales through who we are right here, you know. So it kind of becomes this in person from around the world, kind of like we're serving as an anchoring energy for the song that's being sung. So we're very excited and grateful to have this opportunity and to be able to do it. So the synchronicity also is that you guys were supposed to be with us in December, and you couldn't come then. And now the next thing to the whales is where we are with the blue whales exactly right now. So I just love how life brings these things together. And I was a little, you know, I didn't even know if internet's going to be good enough, and it was, but a part of me was just like, just do it. You just step into that, you know, crazy trust of, hey, it's gonna work out, you know, it's gonna work out. And I'm so happy it is. All right.
You know, Jan, also before when you mentioned, I loved very much what you said about the whales and their consciousness, you know, and how they are affecting all of us. Back then, when we, for the first time, when we actually recorded that album, we both felt it. They were in the room with us.
Yeah.
We felt
Absolutely.
the presence of whales in the room as we did the music. And this was, for me, this was one of the most touching experiences I have ever had, because it sounds so weird. It sounds so crazy. And yet I know in my heart, this is really what happened. And it happened for the both of us. It was such an intimate experience, having them present with us and feeling them so strongly.
And also because the dream of the blue whale is not just, it's not exclusively an underwater experience. It's, of course, it's that as well, but it expands, and it's a space that is a mixture. It's like a dream. That's also why it's called the dream of the blue whale. And you know, in dreams, when you can be all kind of things and at the same time, and places and people, no problem. You know, dreams, you know that? That when dreams are like, nope, you can have the weirdest things going on and you don't question them in the dream, because it's just, sure. And the cover of our album is a little like that, because we have this fantastic, like you will be, you know, 20,000, 30,000 feet underwater, and yet you're maybe in space, or we feel also that there's a part of it that was a journey and a connection between the whales, the blues, and the seven sisters. Oh,
okay.
Sorry. Oh, we got our picture. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was that us? No. Are we?
No, I did it.
Yeah. All right.
I had it as a next slide. Slide.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to finish and say that yeah. Well, so there's a dream there, and yeah. Thank you. So you can see here that the whale is somewhere in between that triangular, expansive, multidimensional space there, and therefore that was. But all this we know now. We didn't know this when we made the music. We just tuned in, and then this came through like this. So, and what we're doing today, the piece is 40 minutes long, so we're just going to make you a little piece of it today.
Yeah, we don't have time for 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
We make a little.
Yeah, that's wonderful. No, yeah, I would say just do it in your natural flow. Don't worry about time, you know, whenever it's, you know, what's interesting with toning is whenever we tone as a group, there's always a natural, you know, climax and then a natural coming out. And it's like everybody knows when it's time to start, you know, be done. It's it's again, a communication where we just know that it's time to wrap it up, and the sound comes down and together and inside, and then everything's done. So just follow that today as you perform for us as well. And can I ask you one more question before we go into the concert?
Sure.
I just wanted to, for you, if you can share, where do you go when you tone?
Well, you know, it's sort of between worlds. For me, at least, it is. Because I mean, toning is a kind of singing. It's a simple, clear, simple form of singing, if you will. But also both when I sing and when I tone, there's a part of me that needs to keep track of where I am here in 3D. And then as much as possible, I can feel this pull to go somewhere else. And of course, this somewhere else is me. Somehow for me, this was always my connection with the music, or the sound was always my connection. Just ask my wife. I make sound all day. But that's my connection. It somehow just takes me, and in other words, it's easy for me when I'm creating sound or with the music. And therefore, what happens is that if I could just go all the way out, I would probably do that. But there's a part, is also a feeling at the same time as something, a little bit of a compass that keeps a little a guiding a line in the middle of things. And I think that's fine. That's a good balance. It always felt like this, because it's all about bringing heaven on earth here. It's not about escaping or disappearing. And even though it's tempting sometimes, but the beauty of it is also you can bring things. I feel that the music and the sound that we get to bring here is actually the sound and the music from beyond. And that is the beauty of it, and the joy of it also. It's also joy, sometimes a very physical experience, even though part of us is out there somewhere, to get to bring this here through knowledge and through technology, that we can share these moments here, all that together. So it's sometimes a very tangible and sometimes very out there experience.
Okay, and this is, I would take these words as a beautiful invitation for each person, because after your performance, we're going to go into a little toning together, where we play a toning track and people can tone and sing to the whales with the help of it. So I just like your sharing about going beyond, going into this space, and so yeah, if you guys are ready, I think we're just gonna take a couple of deep breaths when you're getting prepared, and people can just
Jan,
relax.
We will just, if it's okay with you, just 10 seconds. We need to technically just
sure. I'll just
seconds, and
I'll just pull up the slide again, so people can see.
And then you can take the slide off as soon as we start off, and it's going to be in a moment. Okay.
So you can just take a deep breath and just relax into your seat. And allow the sound to take you on a journey.
Okay, so we are back. So if you like, Jan, you can take the slide off again, if you can hear us. Okay, so we invite you on So we invite you all on a journey with us now, and see you on the other side. Just 1 second, Jan. We have a technical thing here. I'm just gonna turn it off and turn it on again. Okay, let's see here. Okay, all right. Yeah, yes. And recording again? Yes. Here we go. Okay. Okay. All right. We try again. Yes, sorry for that. Yeah. This song
Can you guys see the comments? People are saying purest heart and soul, incredible, namastes, deepest gratitude, off the charts vibrating, amazing, no words, thank you, it was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us here.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad this is happening, and I just wanted to say, you know, this one question for everybody: do whales know when we sing to them?
Yeah.
And
is that a trick? Is that a trick question?
No, it's an answer that comes through the cells in the body. Yeah.
Yes, they do. They know before we even know.
Yeah. So just, I love it. It's so beautiful. Thank you so much. And obviously, Anders and Kachina have a beautiful gift to bring it to us in a way that really reminds us of this inner space, this inner beauty, this connection we have with the whales. And I don't want anyone to be discouraged by how amazing they are, because I still want each one of you, each one of us, to express what's in our heart, what's in our communication through our voice. And it might not sound as amazingly resonant and harmonic, but it's still your communication. So where we're gonna go now, before we go into the last part of today's event, I just want to bring this up and say it. So it's on www.anders-holte.com that you can find The Dream of the Blue Whale plus 5 or 6 other albums. How many?
I think, I don't even know. Yeah, 5 or 6 other albums, I think. Yeah.
A lot. There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So please support Anders and Kachina by getting this beautiful, I mean, if you want your blood to be crazy alive, if you want to feel this connection, I play this sometimes in the background when I work, when I do other things. I mean, it's just such a beautiful harmonic to bring into this space. So visit their website, support what they do, and thank you so much for being on today, both of you.
Thank you for having us, Jan. It's been a real pleasure.
And I'll let you know. I'll let you know what happens. I'll send you if there's anything that happens with the whales, and I'll send you a little video of what happens. So
we would love that.
Please do.
We would love that. Please do.
Yeah.
Okay. So
thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Aloha. Until the next time. Okay. So we're gonna move to Sing to the Whales now, where this quantum communication now becomes a choir. So we were blessed to hear Anders and Kachina with their expression of their song. But what if there is more? What if we can take it even a step further and become a choir, a quantum choir of humanity that sings to the whales? If the whales can come into the space when one person sings the song of the blue whale, what do you think happens when we connect as a grid, as a collective heart? So this is the invitation now to go into an experience of a choir singing. And I always honor, and I'm always very grateful to Muom from Spain. They are a toning choir. And they gave us a permission to use their tracks to create the atmosphere, the sound of a choir that becomes like a background sound for your tones to then express, lay over, expand into. So just like Anders's website, please visit Mom's website as well if you like what they do, and support what they do as well. They're the most magnificent, beautiful harmonies that I ever heard. I had a chance to be right under that mountain on the picture, Montserrat near Barcelona, Spain. And I listened to their performance in a monastery. And they are, I mean, you know, amazing in their own way, just like Anders, the way they do overtones and different things. It takes years of dedication and practice. Some of them studied with Mongolian throat singers, just amazing people. Moam from Spain. Okay. And now we come to the blue whale. And before we go into the experience of the toning choir, I actually wanted to turn things around today. Usually we have our choir sing first, and then we listen to the sound of the whale singing back to us. Today I wanted the sound of the blue whales to be a part of the meditation that we do before we sing. And their sound is so deep that you probably need headphones to reach those deepest layers of the sound of the blue whale. And in this recording, you'll be able to hear the low, it's called a rumble. It's a very low, kind of a subwoofer sound. And to me, that sound represents, and the blue whales represent the heart of Gaia. And I feel energetically from all the whales, they go the deepest, they go right to the heart of the planet. And as a meditation today, I wanted to share an insight that the blue whales gave me yesterday on the boat. They said to me that we are doing with energetic gifts what we do with human gifts. So I'll use this cup as an example. So when you receive a gift as a human, imagine it's Christmas and you receive a gift and you unwrap it. And then you bring it into your field, and then you try and figure out how you're gonna resonate with it and how you're gonna use it. Now, Blue Whale said yesterday that we try and do the same with gifts from higher dimensions. So we get a download of beautiful high energy, a download from guides, from star people, from dolphins and whales, from your soul, wherever it comes from. And we think we're supposed to receive it and then figure out what we're going to do with it. And many times it takes us, a long time to figure out how to incorporate energies, new insights, new revelations. Now, what the whales invited us to do yesterday, and I'd like to do that today with all of you, is when the download comes, instead of holding it here and trying to figure out what am I going to do, and sometimes even be overwhelmed by it, we dive together with the blue whale. We dive to the heart of Gaia. And in that heart of Gaia, we allow this gift to find a resonance with the heartbeat of the planet. And then we raise up together with the whale. And as we come back into our field, we allow this gift to come out through the exhale and then spread into our whole field. So let's do that together right now. So there might be a gift coming in right now for you. There might be a download for you. You might feel a communication from the whales right now. Or your soul or your guides. The secret is that they're always ready. So when we remember joy and we open up, that energy comes pouring in. The gifts came pouring in. And now instead of trying to keep them in your energy and figure out what you're going to do with them, let's take a deep breath and we dive with the whale. And allow the blue whale to take you all the way down to the heart of Gaia. And now I'll play the song of the blue whales that I feel represents the heartbeat of Gaia. So just stay there with your gift, listening to the heartbeat, just allowing your gift to come into resonance with this heartbeat. And again, we return from the heart of Gaia up into your field. A deep breath. Blow it out. And allow that gift, that download to spread into your field. And now that the gifts are received, now that the whales sang to us, we gather again as a choir from around the world. Just see that circle of joy with hundreds of people with their hand on the heart, smiling. The whales, the dolphins, the sea lions, the dragons, all the beings coming to join our circle as we now sing to the whales. So just invite your heart, invite your soul, invite your field to join into this quantum choir. You take a deep breath, and whenever you're ready, you can allow the sound to come out of your mouth. So when you're ready, you can gently bring your consciousness back to your body. Remembering joy. Remembering how amazing and magical this experience called life is. And knowing that any downloads you receive, they can integrate with the help of the blue whales, with the heartbeat of Gaia, with the heartbeat of the new earth. So whenever you're ready, you can start to gently move your feet on the floor, your legs, your body, your hands, rubbing your face. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. I want to thank each and every one of you for adding your voice, your intention, your heart to the choir. You're invited to sing to the whales anytime you want. And if you ever get a chance to go out on a boat and sing to the whales in person, they're gonna let you know that they know. And even if you don't get a chance to go out on a boat, even in your bedroom, they're gonna let you know that they know in the energy. So keep this communication alive, keep it active. And we'll see you again on June 21st for the solstice. And have a beautiful time celebrating Equinox that's happening in 2 days. As we ride this energy of the full moon into the equinox on the song of the blue whale. And thank you so much for having the patience with us with any kind of a technical glitch we had today. Sending much love to all of you wherever you are. I want to again thank Anders and Kachina to come with their beautiful performance. You find them at anders-holte.com. And Mom that contributed the choir toning piece, you found at mom.net. And our beautiful Marie that you see on the screen with me is our translator into Czech. And she is so appreciated for all the amazing work she does. We always get more than 100 Czech people join us, and Slovaks, of course. So it's so wonderful to have them with us every time we do this. And that is only possible because of beautiful Marie. All right, so all of you remembering joy, thank you so much for being with us. Have a beautiful evening. I'll do my best with uploading the recording of this and hopefully get some of the glitches taken care of. And because we're traveling and doing a retreat, it's not going to be in a couple of hours as usually, but I'll do my best to have it within 24 hours. And with a deep breath, sending much love to the pod, to each and every one of you.